Finishing off with a little activity. I would like my sister over here to come help me out. The title of my message today is "I'm Not Forced to Love God." Oh yeah, I guess you sit down. I'm sorry. Kind of new with this. All right. So what I want the varones to do, I'm going to be asking you in one word. In one word. In one word, can you describe to me how a relationship will prosper? So in any word that you can come up with, like loyalty or anything in a relationship. Oh, perfect. I'm looking for three different words, three key words that I want to touch on. Do you need a different marker? Communication. All right. Does anybody else have any other ones? Brother Ephraim? Interest? Okay. Interest. Alright, hermano? Oh, can you ask him?
Está pidiendo unas palabras en cuáles, qué cree el varón que ayudaría en una relación, establecer una relación. ¿Qué se necesita? ¿Qué palabra se le viene a la mente?
Trust. ¿No? Okay. Any other ones? Brother Mac? That's okay. Brother Gilbert? Faith? Okay, yeah, I was in the, actually, that's one of the words on there that I was thinking about. Faith and trust together. Brother David? Love? Yeah, in one word. Commitment? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Any other ones, Brother Ephraim? Respect?
Oh, yeah.
Brother Ephraim? Compassion? These are really good words. Still looking for one more word, and I thought it was going to be the first one that was going to be up there too. Devotion? Okay. Any other ones? Faithfulness? Okay. How about one main one that everybody talks about in a relationship? Love. There we go. And I'm going to be talking about three different ones that I felt that were very key in a relationship and for a relationship to succeed. One being love, which of course you need to love your spouse. Communication, of course. And trust and faithfulness. And devotion, loyalty. What was the other one? Faith. Those are all words that I was looking for this message. And okay, so how did you meet your spouse? In church. And what was the very first thing you did?
I sort of held back, but eventually I had to communicate.
Communicate, right? So I would say that communication will be the first thing that we need on our list in a relationship, because you can't go anywhere if you don't communicate with them. You're not just gonna sit down next to them and.
Will you marry me?
Eventually, you're gonna have to talk to them to develop a relationship. So the next one, the thing I wanted to say next was, we can't tell our children to love God. And that kind of sounds weird. Don't tell my kid to love God. What? No. What you want to tell, we want to encourage them to develop that communication with God.
Right.
That's the main thing, to develop that communication, to pray. Prayer is the key. That we communicate with God first, and that love will just come following with it. We talk to God, we can't help but love Him.
Amen.
Love's gonna follow through it. So.
Amen.
So I'm assuming no one told you love Sister Hillary. You kind of just fell in love with her by talking to her. There's a thing that I found interesting, that Jesus, he didn't teach his disciples to praise and worship. What he did do, he taught them to pray.
Amen.
That was the main thing, because out of everything that God asks of us, he just wants us to communicate with Him.
Right.
Amen.
And I have a verse right here, John 4:18 through 19. Brother Chris. If you have it in your Bibles, you can look it up. That's 1 John 4:18 through 19. Everybody has it? Oh, it's on the board already? Okay, I have it on the NIV version. And the verse says, "There is no fear in love, but perfect love drives out fear, because fear has to do with punishment. The one who fears is not made perfect in love." And this is my favorite part right here. It says, "We love because He first loved us."
Amen.
And I've always found it kind of strange that when God's asking to love Him, He kind of makes it real brief, like really simple. We love God because He first loved us. So why doesn't He tell us why we love Him for a specific thing? He just says because He first loved us. He just makes it simple.
Mm-hmm.
And I was kind of thinking, why would He do that? And when we think about it, we can't describe God. We can't even comprehend how much He's done for us and what He can do. All we can do is just love Him for Him.
Amen.
And so I've talked about communication. I've talked about love. Those are things I wanted to touch on. And I feel like sometimes we go to God when we're scared, and that's which is fine. It's an encouragement to go to God, especially during these times when we see that all the chaos is going on, and we got to get right with God, and the economy is going down, all the destruction and everything, which is encouragement. That shouldn't be our reason for loving God.
Mm-hmm.
We shouldn't love God just because we're scared. We should love God because He's God and He's amazing.
Amen.
And there was a little illustration I was kind of talking to my mom about, and I was kind of trying to put this in words. I couldn't really I couldn't say what was in my mind that God was trying to tell me what to say. So it's like a little girl and her father inside a forest, and it's dark, and so she's going through the forest, and she gets kind of scared, so she goes back to her dad, because her dad's her protector, right? But is that the only reason why she loves her dad? Just because he's a protector? No, she loves her dad for everything that he's done. He's caring for her, he provides for her, he's all these things. She doesn't just go to God because she's scared.
Mm-hmm.
So being scared shouldn't be the only reason why we go to God. It should be because we love God, and because He's such an amazing God that He does all these things that we can't even describe and can't even fathom. Now going to the trust and faith part of it. Of course, that when we fall in love with somebody, when we love them, the faith and everything else is so simple. We love God, and then the sin around us, we don't have to be scared about that. Brother even at the beginning said that He didn't give us a spirit of fear.
Amen.
And if we love God and we fall deep in love with Him, then all the sin, all that stuff, we don't have to worry about that stuff, because God has us already in His hands. So with the trust and the faith and everything that has to do with that, I was going to talk about praise, and I forgot to talk about that. Sometimes we just come to church just to praise God and just to worship God and to ask for forgiveness, which is all good things to do. But when we just come to church just for those 3 reasons, to praise and worship and receive a blessing and ask for forgiveness, those are just temporary blessings that God has for us. We need to develop that love for God, get deeper into it, have a relationship with God, and take that back with us. Of course, God is going to bless us when we ask, and He's going to provide for us when we need. But it's when we get that deeper connection with God is where our love just grows stronger, and our trust in Him is just amazing. And there's one last verse I wanted to say, and it is from Isaiah 1:19 through 20. It says, "If you are willing and obedient, you shall eat the good of the land. But if you refuse and rebel, you shall be devoured by the sword, for the mouth of the Lord has spoken." So it's our time. If you have a calling, or if you feel that God is tugging at your heart to do something, and you're refusing that, God says you're going to be devoured by the sword. So we should step up on those things, and it's time to get a little deeper into God. Keep praising and worship, of course, but do something about it. There's a verse in 1 John 3:18. It says, "Dear children, let us not love with words or tongue, but with actions and in truth." It's with our actions that we show God that we love Him. It's by obeying His commands and all these things. And so yeah, I just encourage you all to make that, when you come to the altar, ask God to have a deep relationship, or make that deep relationship commitment with God, and then everything else will just come into play. And just like any other relationship, we go to God, we communicate with Him, we'll love Him, and then everything else is just simple. We don't have to worry about anything else. And I just wanted to end with that, and thank God for letting me have the honor of coming up here.
Amen.